Hi, my name's Sam Malcolm, and in this quick video I'm going to explain to you how the contact tracing application that is used to slow the spread of COVID-19 actually works. Now, governments want to use this application to have a more proactive step in stopping the spread of COVID-19, and the media is not representing it very well at all. There's a lot of alarm in the community about what this means for your privacy and your security as an individual. And the first thing I will say is you absolutely should exercise concern about privacy and security with every app, every service that you use. It should be a concern. You should be thinking critically of that type of thing. It's really important. The other thing I will say that in Australia, the reason we don't already have it is because the government is looking into these exact things. Now, far be it from me to defend the Liberal government in any way, shape or form, but that's exactly why we don't have it already. They're looking into the security ramifications of this app for the general public, what it means for your privacy. Now, the first misconception I'm going to address is that it tracks your location. It is not location tracing. That is not at all what it does. It is contact tracing, and that's very different. It doesn't even use the location data available on your phone. It doesn't use it, not concerned with it. It's concerned with who you come into contact with, not where you come into contact with them. That's really important. So let me explain. So it uses Bluetooth, and one of the good reasons why it uses Bluetooth is because the range of Bluetooth is quite short. The range of Bluetooth is quite short that if you're within the range of Bluetooth of someone else's cellular device, you're theoretically within the range of them to potentially, say, transmit a respiratory illness to them, for a hypothetical example. So let's say this is you, right? You're moving through, in this direction, a supermarket. There are people around you. Some of them are closer than others. Some of them are close to other people, right? This is typically how you move through a supermarket. Let's say that the Bluetooth range is this. Obviously it would be more of a perfect circle than that, but this is not an artistic video, this is a computer science video. Whenever someone who is also using the contact tracing app is within your Bluetooth range of your device, it's going to send a small packet of data, which is an ID, to that person and retrieve a small packet of data, which is an ID of that person. Now, the app that Singapore is using, and they've used it with quite a bit of success at flattening their curve, deletes those IDs deletes all of the data after 21 days. So after 21 days, all of this information is deleted. That is a systematic process that happens. The app that Google and Apple are working on together to solve this same problem regenerates your ID every 15 minutes. So even if this data was hacked, and remember, Google and Apple are the people who wrote the operating system running your phone, you wouldn't want anyone better writing this application, even if the data was leaked, which is unlikely. After 15 minutes maximum, it's out of date because those unique codes have been regenerated. So what it does is it generates a list. So on this person's phone, there's going to be a list of people who came into contact with them. Now, these aren't a list of names. These are a list of unique identifiers. So let's say, for example, this person, unfortunately, tests positive for COVID-19. What it does is it sends a notification to you that you have come into contact with someone who has tested positive. You should self-isolate for 14 days. Now, it doesn't give you a notification saying that you came into contact with Joe Bloggs at Coles last Thursday and they have COVID-19. It says someone you crossed paths with has tested positive for COVID-19 and you should self-isolate. You may have seen this kind of graph used to represent slowing the spread and why staying home is important. And it's about how everyone you meet basically meets 3 other people, and then after not very long, that's a lot of people. And you'll see in those graphs that when they stop it, it changes the amount of people on this side that have the virus, and they stop it here by people staying home or washing their hands, whereas we can stop it here because this person was notified via their phone that they have potentially caught the disease. Not that they have it, that they have potentially caught it because this person has it and that told this person. Now, this is really important. This is really important because these nodes of the people you come into contact with are not always just random strangers at a supermarket. These people are your family members. These people are your grandparents who are even more vulnerable to the worst effects or outcomes of catching COVID-19. These are the people you care about and the people you love. This is the people you come into contact with. This is the people that they care about, that they love. So you have to remember that stopping it here also stops it from going like this, which also stops it from going like this. Right? We're in a very unprecedented time. It's a pandemic. In Victoria and Australia, it's a state of emergency. That gives the government extra powers that it doesn't normally have because we are in an unprecedented and just absolutely devastating time. Now, absolutely delete the app once all this is over and you've done your bit. You've participated in this initiative because you've helped stop the spread of the virus. But I implore you, as a programmer, as someone who is very conscious of the ramifications of security and privacy, I encourage you to please, when this app comes out in Australia, please download it, please participate, because I guarantee you've made greater sacrifices when dealing with this pandemic than storing this data. Much greater sacrifices. You've stayed home, you've washed your hands, you've done all that stuff. And you have to consider that the people who die as a result of this pandemic are not always the ones who die from the virus. When people lose their jobs, when people have to isolate, when people lose their homes, things like suicide go up, things like substance abuse go up, and we have to consider that as well. So the bottom line is this app does not use your location data, it's not even using your GPS, that's not what it's concerned with. It just keeps a list of unidentifiable people you've come into contact with, and it's going to warn you or warn them or warn one of your loved ones that they've come into contact with someone that's tested positive. The other concern is that people you've come into contact with will be notified if you have tested positive for COVID-19. It is anonymous still, but they will be warned, and that means that they can protect the people that they care about and the people in their network from getting the disease as well. So I implore you to please, when this app becomes available, when the government has done its due course in vetting its security ramifications for the general public, please download it, please participate, and feel free when this is all over to delete it and not think of it again, and just know that you did something for the greater good and you saved lives, and all you had to do it was turn your Bluetooth on and download a phone app.